quick look at these two nibs. Now these are both on Nakaya's, or Nakaya, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, on their tester bodies, which are just raw black ebonite with markings on them. So on the left is a soft medium and rhodium plated nib, and on the right is the elastic fine. The elastic cutouts are on the side there, you can see. So it is a modification that is done by Nakaya, and this is just their regular gold nib, which is the standard color that comes on most of their pens, unless you order a customized nib or a special nib. So the soft medium is supposed to be soft, and it's fairly smooth. It has a little bit of feedback, but it's not at all scratchy. Now you can see I'm applying a little bit of pressure, but that's basically the extent of the flex or line variation. I mean, it's not flex. Line variation is a good choice there. It bounces back pretty quickly. But basically this is a nib for if you want like a softer writing experience, so not a super rigid nib. And it's pretty nice. I like it, but of course this is a medium and this is a fine, so there's going to be a difference in the lines in general. But let's go ahead. This one has a bit more feedback because it's a fine, and if you just use a very light hand, you get a fine line. Now the difference with this, see, I mean the lines are basically the same, but of course this is starting at a medium. So, sorry, I didn't have an elastic medium to work with, or a soft fine to work with. But the feeling is very different. It's much easier to achieve line variation, so it doesn't take much pressure. It's a very bouncy feeling. I think it's really nice. A very nice customization. It can allow for, you know, pretty swirls and a little bit of flair if you want. That was a horrible F, sorry. Let me pull out the soft medium again. This one is a lot more firm. Even though it is a soft, it's definitely more firm than the elastic. Now let me just grab something like a regular medium. This is their two-tone. It's very pretty. But if I try to do that with this one, I mean, it's rigid, so there's just no line variation possible. So this is just a medium, regular medium, and this is the soft medium. So you can see the difference in them. This one is a lot more wet, a little bouncier. This one is very rigid. So I hope that is kind of useful if you're trying to decide between the soft and the elastic. The elastic is definitely more of a flexible writing experience. It's not going to flex like, you know, a vintage wet noodle or something, but it's pretty decent. And if you're looking for something a little more expressive than just the standard firm nibs, then a soft is nice. There you go. The elastic customization is also more costly, so I think it's about $60 to have it made into an elastic. So a soft medium is a standard nib, so you don't have to pay extra for that. So that might be a factor to consider. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Bye-bye. Here's a quick writing sample from the side so you can see how these different nibs perform from the side. Here is a regular medium. Now I'm not applying any pressure, but if I start to apply pressure, not much really happens. It's a pretty standard sensation. It's just a firm nib. Oh, that's horrible, sorry. Just a firm nib, but that gives you an idea as to the line. Now here is a soft medium. So you could already see it's much wetter, but if I apply pressure, you can see the nib responding. I'm just gonna put soft M here so you can see the difference. And last but not least, this is a elastic fine, but I just wanted to show you the difference between the soft and the elastic. So of course this is gonna start out much smaller, but you can see the difference in how much the nib responds to pressure. So of course these lines are not as wide as those, but that's a medium. This is a fine. It does separate quite far from the feed if you apply a lot of pressure. Well, not a lot, a moderate amount. I find it very pleasant to write with. And if you go, if you're applying pressure and you go to slower speed, it'll keep up well. There you go. I hope that was helpful.